Hey Touchstone families, Miss Coster here, and in this video we're going to be going through how to do a backward shoulder roll. Backward shoulder rolls are really great to have because they help with our mobility, they help with our confidence, and if we need it in a break fall, self-defense kind of situation, we can use it as an alternative. If there's too much momentum, we're going too fast in our break fall to be able to still safely get out of that situation. Now, in the break fall video, I was talking about how we don't want to let our knees come too far up. So we didn't want to have our feet going past our heads way back here, but sometimes that's inevitable, that's going to happen. And that's where this backward shoulder roll comes into play. So for those of you that aren't very comfortable or have never done one before, there's a few steps to take to making sure that you're comfortable with it. The very first one is you're going to pick a leg. It doesn't matter which one. It's whichever one feels best to you. And as you do this backwards, almost like how we're getting into our break fall, we're going to take one of our legs and we're going to just touch our toe above our head. So it's going to go like this. I'm going to pick my right leg. And as I roll back up onto my shoulders, I'm going to try and touch this toe to the floor behind me. So I'm going to come up, I touch, and I come right back. Okay, that's step one. Once you feel comfortable with that, now you can move on to step two, which is where you're still going to take that same foot, that same toe, and you're going to touch it over your head. But this time, instead of touching and just letting yourself roll back, I want you to see if you can stay there. Okay, so we're going to roll back and we're going to try and touch that toe, and we're going to see if we can hold this before we come all the way back. Okay, so one more time. It's almost like you're going to kind of make yourself into a tripod. So I'm going to take my toe and I'm going to go up and I'm going to see if I can touch it right above my head, and then I push myself back. Okay, the next step from this is once I get that toe to touch and I can balance and I have that control, I'm actually going to take both knees, and this is important. I don't want my knees to go one on either side of my head. I want my knees to stay together and touch down over one of my shoulders, okay? Because what tends to happen is if I try to do one foot on either side, I get stuck and I can't go anywhere. And I don't want that. So I'm gonna put both knees over one shoulder, okay? So when I touch this foot down, my other knee follows, and now I just did a backward shoulder roll. So let's do it one more time. My toe is going to touch down, and when it does, both of my knees are going to come together and touch down right on the floor. Okay, so I come over, and my knees touch down, just like that. Now, if you've already got that part down, the last step is, can you do a backward shoulder roll to a standing position? And that gets a little bit trickier, but the foot that you're planting over your head is one of the key parts. Okay, so I'm going to try and do this slow for you guys. While I go over and I touch this foot down, this foot that hasn't touched yet is going to plant this way. And then I can just stand right up. And now I'm ready. Okay, so let's do that again. Let's go a little bit faster. So I'm going to take this foot over my head. My other foot is going to try and float for as long as possible until I can put it totally flat and I can just stand right up. So I go over and I touch and then I stand. Okay? So one more time. When we do this quick, it's just going to go over and up. Okay? And that's how we do our backward shoulder roll.